So now we're going to explore the felt agency card, the felt agency pattern in the WISE democracy pattern language. And I'm going to read the heart, the little description, and then talk about it a bit. So the card, and it's this picture of people doing participatory budgeting. And participatory budgeting, I'll read the thing in a minute, but I wanted to describe the picture. The people in participatory budgeting thing, which is used all over the world, hundreds of cities use it. The official city government takes a section of the budget and turns it over to the community and says, you figure out what to do with this piece of the budget, and whatever you figure out, we'll do that. And people talk about it and come up with project ideas and research what it's going to take to actually do those projects, how much it's going to cost and all that. And then people vote, people in the community vote on which projects they want to do. And these people have done that, and you can see, how they feel about having done that and having money to spend on things that they want to see in their community. So now I'll read the heart. Passivity and powerlessness serve neither quality of life nor wise democracy. When people see their voices and actions playing a meaningful role in public life, they experience an expansion of self and greater willingness to participate. So notice how social designs and activities contribute to or undermine participants' sense of agency and support empowerment. So this is where the participation and the in our Venn diagram, the power, participation, and wisdom. This is sort of in the overlap between participation and power. Is the power being shared so it's participatory? Is the participation have a sense of power in it? I have watched a number of citizen deliberations with randomly selected people, a dozen or 2 dozen people randomly selected, spending several days together, talking about some issue or situation in their community, coming up with something that is, announced and discussed at a community meeting and turned over to government, government people or stakeholders to do something with. And those people go, I didn't know citizenship could be like this. There's a whole different feel. That's why it's not just agency, it's felt agency. And that feeling that I can have an impact changes what people do in the political and government world. And if they spend a bunch of time doing something and nothing happens, then they go, forget this, I have other things to do. It's a waste of time. And suddenly you don't have the participation that you need. So, but there are, one of the dynamics that is often run into when you're trying to get participation is people in government go, we were elected or appointed to do this work, and we're specialists and we don't want, there's the expertise, there's the status, there's, the whole narrative that goes with being a government person, and you're going to bring in ordinary people to deal with situations in the community or the country or whatever. And it's like, there's a sense that, and there's a demand for participation. So there's lots of sort of fake participation. People are going through the motions, but the government's not paying any attention. You have a public hearing and the legislature decides to do what they were going to do anyway. Or there's a months-long public engagement investigating something and doing a big report, and the report sits on a shelf and nothing gets done with it. And then they talk about public apathy. Well, there's a lot of public apathy because people don't have a sense that their activity, their engagement, their investment of their life energy is going to come up with anything. So we have in the Co-Intelligence Institute has a politician's pledge to help bridge that difference in worldviews and perspectives, and the legitimate interests of government people to be able to play their roles without being endangered. And within the politician's pledge, it's for a politician to say, if anybody organizes a bunch of ordinary people, whether it's a business or a church or a civic group, whatever, if they organize a public participation activity that has these characteristics, there's a list of 7 characteristics that mean it is a well-run, fair conversation. And whatever they come up with, they deliver it to me. I will either do what they say, or I will publicly explain why I can't or won't. So this is respectful of the public's engagement and a promise to respond in a respectful way. And part of that is also, I will post it on my website. These people did this, and this is what my response is. So there's this respectful conversation going on between the people and the government officials. And often government officials discover, once they do good public engagement, that they're being helped. The partnership between the public and the stakeholders and the public official actually helps them get stuff done. But it needs to be done right, and that could be screwed up from both sides. And there's a sociologist, Sherry Arnstein, who created what she called a ladder of public engagement, which has, at the bottom, there's sort of pseudo engagement. It's like educational things or things where you come to get input that then is ignored. And it goes up through various levels of partnership to where the people actually have power, or what they say is what's going to happen. And there's actually legitimate places for all of those, but the sense of different levels of power in the participatory activity is very important to carry along. And part of it is because you actually want to have, if you're going to have all this stuff from the people, you as a public official or you as a community want to have the benefits of that, whatever that is. And the people who are involved want to have the benefits of feeling they matter, that they're making a difference, so that they will come back again. And you want the overall community to benefit from the activity and be able to have lots of people participating over and over and over and over as a healthy social dynamic.